There we go.
Welcome to Sisters in Song. Can you take a minute to take a minute? Let's see if I can try that again.
Take two.
Welcome to Sisters in Song. Can you take a minute and tell us who you are and where you're coming to us from?
Absolutely. My name is Chaz Collins. I'm currently living in Clearwater, Florida. I'm a country rock artist, nationally touring via Nashville, Tennessee. I was there 17 years, and but born and raised in Belle Chase, Louisiana, for 26 years there.
So I'm going to just start. How did you get started in music?
Well, there's two parts to that. The first one, I was 9 years old when I started singing what they call specials in church, which is a fancy name for, hey, I was singing a song to the congregation in between the sermon and Sunday school, all that stuff. And then karaoke came out. And when karaoke came out, a buddy of mine says, hey, you want to go do karaoke? And I'm like, I didn't. You start speaking like Chinese or something? I don't understand. And he's like, no. It's kind of like playing with a band, but they play the music behind and you sing and perform for people. So I started doing that. And I started building a following, believe it or not, doing karaoke in a little 99-person bar. The next thing you know, someone said, hey, why don't you, a different person, another mutual friend said, hey, I have my own karaoke show. We're a little bit bigger and we actually do a little bit of touring around Louisiana. Would you MC our show? Because I see you're really good with people and you have people showing up just to see you. And I was like, man, I might have something here. So that's kind of how it all started off.
So karaoke has a live band behind you, correct?
No, this is just pop. We were popping in CDs. This is way before you could just pull it up online.
I know.
Yeah,
that's a first. That is awesome.
That's an amazing story of how you got started. I love that. So, what's the hardest part about this career you have chosen?
Well, it depends on what stage. So at the beginning, the hardest thing was paying your bills. We'd make enough to pay our bills. We were good there. However, you could be one breakdown away, whether it's your trailer tire flying off or driving in black ice in the Dakotas or Wyoming or Montana, one accident away, one freak accident to pay all your guys because they have families. You had enough for your gas to get to the next gig and your food and keep things going. But if one thing happened, if you didn't have the money, the tour's over. And then you still got to get home. So that was the hardest thing then. I would say equally relationships when you're doing that because, as Garth Brooks said, she needed something more to hold than just a telephone, And so that was a hard thing for me. So my relationships didn't last long because I was never home. I was out about 3 months out of the year I was home. And that was for a good 17 years. Now I'm very fortunate. I get to bring my wife with me everywhere. She helps with the merch and building our website and a lot of the marketing side. So it depends what stage you're at with that.
Yeah, that makes sense. Now, would you say the same as for what is your favorite part of it? That also common stages?
That is super easy. That is super easy. And it's, I'm sure there's other artists like this, but for me, I was just talking to some folks about it tonight at dinner. I love making people feel euphoric. Like when you put on a show and you make a connection with that crowd and you can see in their expressions, you can see in their body language that everything going on in their life in that moment, they're in that moment with you and that what's happening in front of them and they're not thinking about anything. That is the addiction I have to this business is, people will say, oh, you're in the music business. I'm like, not exactly. I'm in the people business. We're here, put smiles on faces. Music brings people together and we want them to check out for a minute of everyday life of, things going wrong or even things that are right, but they're stressful and all this. Just check out, be in this moment with us and let us have this moment. We got this 90 minutes or 2 hours to spend with you. Let us just make you forget of everything and get that euphoria feeling of just being in the moment, having a good time. That's what life's about, man. Life's too short to not enjoy yourself.
Yes, and music it's so cathartic and it saves.
Yep. I was just gonna say, you always say music saves.
That is how I, when we go to shows, that's what I try to do is get rid of all the outside stuff and just focus on why I'm there. And so I love that. That's very cool. So we know that you have a pretty recent single. We would love to know all about it. And is there an album coming soon?
You said an album?
Yeah, is an album coming soon?
Well, so we have an album we put out in 2015. Funny, it's called Chaz Collins' That's What She Said. There's a whole backstory on that too. So we recorded 6 singles earlier, beginning of last year. And I want to give a big shout out to Tommy Harden there in Nashville. Some of you folks may know him as the drummer for Alabama, but him and I co-produced our 6 songs. And so I found when you release an album, you don't get as much traffic to get it to people because it's like, it's out. Okay, it's done. You can't really say, here's the album. Now we're going to release some singles from the album as much because they've already heard it. So we found that you get better mileage on it as far as reaching more people with your music. You put out a single at a time. So we've put out 4 singles. Our newest one right now is Slam Bam. We're super, super stoked about it. People can go online, get our shirts there, come to our shows. We just got our shirts in, but I'm super excited about that song because it is me. It is who I am. It's a Friday night, Saturday night in my life, which is, even if I'm performing, I'm out there dancing with people. We're putting on a show. It's all about having a good time. And it literally, the shirt says Slam Bam, I'm ready to party, And so, and that song is just all about feel good. It could be a date night with that special someone. It could be a couple of your buddies going out and having some drinks and throwing darts and shooting pool. It's just about having a good time. So we have 2 more singles after that's going to be coming out later. So if you guys connect with me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok at Chaz Collins Music, CHAS Collins Music. If you can't remember that, chazcollins.com. It's all right there. You'll see those 2 singles when they come out. And then when we get all 6 of them out, then we're going to take that and make an EP. And it'll more than likely be called one of 2 things. It'll either be called Slam Bam or This Bar Sucks. That's another song you got to check out. That video is coming out soon, but y'all are the first ones I've talked to that I've interviewed and said that about. That video is coming out.
You heard it here first.
Next month. That's right.
Yeah, it's a great single. It's a lot of fun, and it pumps you up and gets you excited, which is, we all need that fun right now. So I love it. Very cool.
Going into spring and summer.
Yeah.
That's it. And there's a music video, a line dance that has been choreographed by Carol Jansen down in Fort Myers, Florida. That is now on copperknob.com. It is worldwide, and that's going to become we're hoping it's going to become one of the new TikTok sensations, where we're going to take a clip and get everybody to do their own version. And
very cool. What a cool idea.
That's also a first.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yep.
We're learning so much from you. You're bringing on some great ideas.
So you write your own music and write your own songs. How do you see a song from start to finish? How does that work for you?
So that's what's crazy. There is no formula. Slam Bam, for instance, was already written by a buddy of mine, Douglas Gary, in Indiana, a former guitar player of mine, great friend of mine. When I was in Nashville, he was one of my touring guitar players at the time. And he had written it. And so I actually took it, changed a few words, and made it more me. So I did. It is a co-write of mine. Sometimes it starts that way. Other times I could be what my wife came to me and said, and this is one of the songs coming out. I'll go ahead and at least mention it. It's called Before You Go. And if anyone likes the movie The Notebook, if that got you teary-eyed, this song is going to top that.
All right.
Because it hits you right here, man. And especially the music video when it comes out. It's very similar to the way The Notebook plays out. But my wife was watching a movie about this girl that was having a lot of problems in her life, and she was contemplating suicide. So my wife said, you got to see this movie. It's called Before You Go. And I was like, well, I heard that, and it just stuck in my head. I'm like, that's a song title. That's a hook. And so there was no melody or anything at the time. And so I told her, I said, well, I'm going to write a song about that, but I'm not going to write it about suicide. That's I don't want to do that. But before you go could be something like, hey, you know, you met someone that you digging. You're like, man, I really like this person. But then that person has to leave from the nightclub where you're dancing and having a good time. And then you're like, wait, before you go, let me touch you one more time. Let me kiss your tender lips. Let me hold you one more time before you go. And we can get more in detail when we do another interview with the guys on the detail of that song. But that happens that way, and then the melody comes later. Other times someone plays me a melody and I go and start singing some lyrics, get a hook, come home and write it. So it happens so many different ways. If I can do this, I'd like to mention one of my favorite songwriters, Jeffrey Steele.
Absolutely.
Okay, he wrote it again. Jeffrey Steele.
Okay.
One of my favorite songwriters. He's written a lot for Rascal Flatts. You may have heard the song "Where Hurts the Most," but he's got different songs that he's written for them, and one of them is "These Days" is one of his songs. And if you hear him, this happens to me too. But if you hear him, he wrote the first verse, and then he wrote the second verse 2 years later about Jewel when she married the rodeo cowboy, because he says in the song, "You married a rodeo cowboy, that ain't the girl I knew," and that had nothing to do with the first verse. So there's so many structures. It's so many different ways it comes at you. There's no set, this is what we do.
Yeah, it's so fascinating to us to hear kind of how that process works.
Well, and we know that sometimes you get stuck.
Yeah.
What do you do if you have writer's block? What do you do to get out of it?
You put it down and go do something. You just clear your brain, and you may come back and visit it. Now there is a few times I haven't done it on these songs that we have released and are releasing, but some of the ones I've got 6 more. We're going back up to Nashville to record probably this spring, probably mid to late spring. And if I get stuck and I just need a little help with a line, I will use that. I will use AI just for that and go, I'm writing this line, and these are the first couple of lines I've written. I need a little help with like a word that rhymes or the same idea. And I rarely am able to use that one sentence that I got off of AI, but it sparks the idea, oh, okay, I know what to write. And it won't be exactly that, but it'll help steer you. And it's, to me, when you use AI like that, I don't consider that cheating. It's the same thing as if you went through a book and what is it? Is it a thesaurus that has all the different words?
Right?
Yeah.
And you can go in there and find the words that rhyme. It's no different. It's just quicker to just get that little help, and then you put that AI down, you finish writing it.
Yeah. Well, and we use Rhyme Zone, where you just put in what rhymes with this, and that's a great tool too. So totally understand. We gotta have our tools, right?
There's nothing wrong with help. Nothing wrong with that.
How would you say, since you've started, that your music has evolved?
That's pretty cool. So I have a first album that was out in 2005, and I've since then removed it with the exception of one song, which is on my website right now. They Want to Hang a Bad Boy. And the reason is at the time, there was an investor that had paid for that first album. So I got a little say-so in what I was doing, but not so much. And it wasn't even a label that did it, as that can happen, where they kind of steer you in a direction they want you to be. But that was a more traditional album. And I'm not traditional country, nothing against the George Straits and the Eastern Corbins and all that. That's not who I am as an artist. I'm on the rock edge. So our stuff is like, take some, Jason Aldean and Brentley Gilbert and throw in some Def Leppard. That's my kind of country, So we rock it up a little bit like that. So it went from that to the album That's What She Said, which had a little bit of funny songs to it. Like I said, it's got the song on there called This Bar Sucks, which is a hilarious song. Oh yeah, you'll enjoy that if you haven't heard that yet. And then and then it was about fishing and about 4-wheel driving and things like that. Whereas now, I think since I've been in Florida, a lot of my stuff that we're going to be releasing now is almost more it's almost like what Kenny Chesney did, where he went from country to kind of the Florida Caribbean life. It's still country, but it's got a little islandy to it. Like we got some songs called "Time Flies When You're Having Rum." That's going to be coming out. So some cool little fun things like that. That's the difference. Is I've gotten more of a rock edge to my stuff.
Lots of fun. Yeah, clever names. I love it.
Me too.
That's great. That's great. Let's talk a little bit about performing, because I know you've had a lot of experience performing. You've done a lot of shows. And do you have a like ritual where you get ready for the show? Do you have a like any sort of like practice that you do to get ready to go on stage?
Yeah. So here's the thing. So a lot of people with that, because I've heard this, especially some of the bigger artists, the more commercial artists that are out there right now, doing shows with them, I'll hear them in the back, you know, they'll be going and all this stuff. And that does work for me. I can do that for a little bit, but if I just talk for a good 15, 20 minutes, so I will actually, if we're somewhere where I'm backstage, I'll go off to the back and talk to some security guys and just kind of hang out. And that gets things going. The other ritual I have is any kind of really, I would say burning kind of whiskey, like really good stuff, like Wild Turkey 101 or something real that's going to be real sharp like that. That's got a good bite to it. If you sip on that, that actually will clear everything out. You know how when you wake up in the morning, you're like Barry White. You're like, good morning. Yeah. You got this bass thing going, you know. Same thing. If I got a radio interview or something in the morning, I'm like, I don't like to drink that early, but yeah, give me some whiskey. I'll sip it before the show so I don't have the Barry White thing going. But that's pretty much my only ritual is talk a little bit. You have to warm it up. You have to warm it up.
Got it. That's another tool we have, right?
That's right. That's right. So,
that's it.
Do you play instruments and can you read music? I'm always wanting to know.
Yes. So, in high school, or I should say, started in middle school, I actually played trumpet from middle school to high school. So I can read music. I can look at music and tell you the note by looking at it in that aspect. Now, the other side of that is I can play piano. I play by ear. I can literally look at a chord on a piece of paper on the notes. I can see the different chords and go, okay, that's an F, that's a G, that's an A, but I can't see it immediately and go, oh, that's this chord. Yeah. So I can read music, but I haven't been able to read chords fast enough to play it. I got to take my time to do that. So I can play by ear. I can hear a song sometimes and piddle with the piano for that day and figure it out. I might not play it in the right key that I heard it in, because I don't do a lot with the black keys, I guess you could say. That's the best way I can put it. So I never brought it on stage for that reason. I hire a keyboard player.
Yeah, I get that. We've been learning guitar for a little while, and it is tough.
Oh yeah.
So as long as you just practice as much as you can, you keep getting a little better every time. But it's a hard instrument to learn.
Yeah, sure. I can play 4 chords, just not fast.
Yeah, that's me on the piano. Yeah, I'm like,
yeah,
so I get it.
Yes.
So, is there a artist or a song or something that you said you saw that person or heard that person or said, I want to do this for a living because of that influence?
Okay, so it's somewhat that way with me, how this happened. So I was actually an 80s rock fan. Was not a country fan growing up. And I say that this is before karaoke. So we're talking like when I was a kid. I was not into the, twangy country and all that. I'm a hands down 80s rocker, Def Leppard, Van Halen, Cinderella, Twisted Sister. I mean, I'm talking 70s and 80s, Aerosmith, that kind of stuff. And so my favorite country artist would be Tim McGraw. When he came out with the song "Don't Take the Girl,"
yes,
and I want to say I was like 14 or something, 15, because that was the early 90s. And my cousin played it for me, and I was like, wow. I was like, that's a hell of a song right there. And so I kept listening to it. Then I would mimic him at karaoke. And I had literally, you could close your eyes and you thought it was Tim McGraw. I mean, I had mimicked him so well on that song and different, other songs that he put out. And so it was that. And then, like I said, when I started gaining a following doing karaoke, people were coming to hear me sing and perform. I wasn't just standing there singing. I was actually putting on a show without a band. And I was selling CDs at karaoke, my first CD,
So
literally.
fun.
And that's, I was like, I got something here, man. Like, this is cool. And so, and then when Katrina hit is when I made my decision to move to Nashville in August of 05. I started heading towards Nashville the night before Katrina hit.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you've been through a lot because you've had a lot of loss in your life and Katrina and then COVID, of course. How do you stay? You seem like a very positive, forward-thinking person. How do you stay that way in this career? Because I know there's a lot of ups and downs in being a musician. How do you keep that positive outlook?
Yeah, well, let's add another one to that. Katrina was in 05. I moved to Nashville. Then I was in the 2010 May flood that happened there. And then COVID. So my wife has also been in 2 tornadoes and a total of 4 hurricanes with me, and she's never been in any of that. She's from Ohio. But so for me, there was a lot of loss in my life with my family as I got older. And when I was touring, of course, I missed a lot of time with my mother, my grandfather, my grandmother, my aunt, who also helped raise me. And I lost all of them within a matter of 4 years. And that was the one time where I was like, okay, I can't do this on my own. I need something to help here. And it wasn't a thing of wanting to give up or being suicidal. It wasn't anything like that. For me, it was just, it took the wind out of my sails because I didn't get a chance to recover from, my mother died in 2013, my grandmother 2014, and my aunt 2016. So to me, that was like losing your mom 3 times because they were all on the same plane for me. And so with all of that, I guess the positive thing was they instilled in me early on was when you wake up, the only person that is in charge of what kind of day you have is you. And if you're letting anything else affect that permanently, then you're not living your life for you. And that stuck with me. And it's not to say I don't have, everyone goes up and down with life. Things happen, I've had breakdowns when I was on the road where I'm like, it's negative 45 wind chill in North Dakota. All the band guys are huddling up. Yeah, we got a bus, but it's like a 91, old thing. And you're turning all the gas, the stove on, the 2 burners. Everybody's got a blanket huddling around, for 8 hours for the tow truck to show up and things like that. These are all memories. These are all things that you still need to take time to enjoy the ride. So in the moment, I'd be like, well, that sucks. But it never took me down because I've always been driven. I've always know what I want to do. And like I said, it all goes away when you see that connection you make with these people at these shows. When you see that and you know that, hey, these are people that you have taken them on a ride on something that was how they say that, your invention, your baby, whatever you want to call it. This is something I built from nothing that they believe in and that it touched them. That constantly makes me excited to go to shows. Even when you're getting up and going, right now I'd rather get on the boat and go sandbarring because I'm tired, and then the minute that first note hits and you see people's eyes just go, and then you're like, this is why I came here and did this instead, because it was way more satisfying to make that connection.
I absolutely love that. Yes, that makes me feel so excited for you and all the things that are coming up. We're going to do our rapid fire questions now. These are just,
don't think too hard.
Yeah, don't think too hard. They're just short, quick answers.
All right.
I'll let you start.
I just have to say something funny there. That is,
Yes.
you're like, all right, Chaz, here's the deal. We're going to give you a question. Hurry the heck up. Give me an answer. Don't be talking for hours. No, I'm just kidding.
No, we're talkers, so we totally get telling.
I'm ready. Right.
But these are short and sweet.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Vinyl, cassette, CD, or streaming?
Wow. I don't listen to much radio. I don't listen to music because I play it a lot.
Yeah. Yep.
That's okay. That's still an answer. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Okay. First album you ever bought?
Tim McGraw. It was actually a 2-song cassette tape.
Remember those?
Yeah. Yes. Welcome to the Club. It was called actually. It had "Don't Take the Girl" and "Welcome to the Club" on it.
Okay, this is a perfect question for you. What is your go-to karaoke song?
Don't Take the Girl. That's easy. That's easy.
Do you like writing songs in the morning, the night, or the afternoon?
Okay, so anybody knows a musician, mornings are not cool.
So,
when it comes to writing, it's all about the moment. So it has nothing to do about the time of day. It's when the inspiration hits you.
Love it. Okay, do you write lyrics on paper, phone notes, or voice memos?
I do melodies on voice memos. Lyrics on I'll type on the phone and write on a notebook. I've got a little songwriting notebook.
Cool. Okay, do you have a pre-show pump-up song that you turn on?
Yes. Last year it was Thunderstruck, with our light show kind of going crazy. This year, Kickstart My Heart, Motley Crue.
Very fun. Okay, just dogs. I keep trying to jump. Dogs, cats, fish, or birds?
All right, so I got to be careful because we have 2 cats in here, and one of them I would love to show you. I don't know if I can do that.
You can. We can. Yeah, we love dogs and cats.
Am I okay to get up and grab her right here?
Absolutely.
2 seconds. Give me 2 seconds.
I love it.
Yeah, she's been wanting to. She got on the interview earlier. So this is Coda. You're gonna love this because we were talking about signing. This is Coda, as in stands for Child of Deaf Adult.
Deaf Adult. Yes. Oh my gosh.
She's 19 years old. She's a calico Mancoon ragdoll. And she's just a big fur ball, big lovable fur ball. So we love dogs, but my wife and I find it a lot easier to have cats. She's had this cat since it was a baby, so 19 years. And then we have another tuxedo that's 7 years old. So we love dogs, but it's not fair. I don't know if you can notice, but I'm actually in our bus. We live full time in our bus.
Wow.
Oh my gosh. So you're going to take Coda along with you and tuxedo.
Yeah, they ride on the dash and watch the lines in the road.
I love that. So and I love her name's Coda. So is your wife a Coda?
She is.
She is. Okay, so her parents are deaf and then she has other deaf family. That's fantastic. Does she interpret or she doesn't do any interpreting?
She went to school for it and she honestly said, I didn't enjoy that. She likes interpreting when groups get together, like for instance, I got a big show coming up March 14th, literally 1 street over from where I'm at. We're building a big stage, putting our LED screen. So a 20 by 20 stage, our LED screen will be flown. We brought in our big light production and we are doing a deaf night out for one of our neighbors here. And they're also, so there's going to be a whole group of deaf people, including her parents coming from Biloxi, Mississippi. And so we'll have about 300 or 400 people for this show. And it's a private thing it's a private event that I'm doing for a fan appreciation is what we do this for. And, but it's kind of cool that we get the deaf community to come here too.
Yeah, that is, you just made my day because I don't, normally I don't meet other people that through this anyway that know about my type of career, and so it's really cool to hear that.
Yep.
Okay,
yep. Thanks for
go on.
I was going to say thanks for letting me have Coda. This is the second time she's ever been on an interview. She's not done any of the other ones. You might hear her in the background. I go, sorry, that's my baby girl who's very, very. She's not independent. She's very needy. She likes to be around us all the time. So.
Oh my gosh,
cute.
She's very cute. Thanks for introducing
Yes,
because we are huge animals.
Oh my gosh, yes. Okay, describe your sound in 3 words.
Country rock adrenaline.
Perfect.
Yep.
What advice would you give to new musicians and or songwriters?
All right. So the first thing is make sure you love the business. If you're in it because of the party life, I don't do that. I mean, I like to have a good time, but stay away from the alcohol. Don't do drugs. Don't do any of that. Do it for the love of the music. If you're doing it for any other reason than what I was saying about, because of your passion and the joy it brings to people, if you're doing it for any other reason, you're either going to veer off and go the wrong way, or you're going to burn out. That's hands down. And I don't want to be insulting, but I want to be honest. The way to get the most burnt out is to move to Nashville and play Broadway. Don't get stuck on Broadway. If you need it for a little bit, I tell all new people that, I'm going to go to Nashville. And hey, it's a great idea to go to Nashville. It's a bad idea to go, I'm going to go play on Broadway for 15 years and get discovered. Don't do that. Go play, make your connections there, and then get out and go do something. Go build a fan base and tour, and put the work in. It'll polish your craft that way.
That's
awesome advice.
Genuine advice. I love it.
Okay, it's time for your shameless plug. You kind of already told us a little bit about your website and everything, but tell us again where we can find your music, your website, your socials, if you've got Bandcamp or any Patreon or anything like that. It's all you.
Okay, gotcha. Cool. Yes. So we are on all social media music platforms. You can download that. Now, we would encourage you to go straight to my website to download music because we get 100% of that. It's chazcollins.com, ChazCollins.com. You can jump on there. I would tell you to jump on our email list. We won't spam you. We'll just send you emails when something big happens, a new release, a new music video, or some good, something to do with our PR, publicity or something big, which we're excited about. If you are listening anywhere in the world and you can't make it to a show right now, because we are working on some overseas stuff, but as of right now, if you have an AMI jukebox in any local bar near you, if people have heard of Touch Tunes, this company is actually bigger than Touch Tunes. And so, you can go in there and put in Chaz Collins. We are in all AMI jukeboxes all over the world.
Awesome.
On that. Chaz Collins Music is also on YouTube. Of course, we're on all the platforms, Spotify, Apple Music, all of that. But the biggest thing, if you really want to keep in touch and keep in tune, is obviously Instagram, Facebook, Chaz Collins Music, and our email list. Our email list, people see and hear any new news before it ever hits social media.
Awesome. Oh, very cool. Yes. And this has been so much fun.
So much fun.
Yes. Thank you for your patience with all the technology issues. And thank you for taking the time to meet with us today. I loved chatting with you. It was fun.
Absolutely. Same here too. I hope we get to do it again.